It might sound unbelievable, but there's an electric car in existence that can reach speeds of 60 miles per hour in less than 2 seconds. That's even faster than the initial takeoff speed of an F-22 fighter jet. The vehicle? The Pininfarina Battista. A brand new production offshoot of the Carrozzeria Pininfarina, the Battista may have forever changed the electric automobile game as we know it. Beyond its headline-grabbing speed, the electric hypercar is much more. So stay tuned as we bring you all the fascinating details of the features of this iconic vehicle. Although you might not be familiar with Pininfarina by name, you probably are with its work. The Italian automotive design company was established by Battista Pininfarina in 1930. The business was sold to Indian car maker Mahindra in 2015. And 3 years later, it debuted a subsidiary brand called Automobili Pininfarina to produce its own electric supercars. Before the launch of its 1,874 horsepower Battista Hypercar, the designer has styled hundreds of vehicles, including dozens of classic Ferraris such as the Alfa Romeo and Fiat 124 Spider, the Cicitalia 202, and Nash Healey, the Cadillac Ayante, the one-of-a-kind Chevrolet Corvette Rondine concept that was recently displayed at the Audrey Concours d'Elegance in Newport, and many others. Of course, if you knew nothing about the Battista, you're sure of one thing, and that's the fact that it's incredibly fast. With a 0 to 60 time all under 2 seconds, one might be tempted to describe it as a supercar, but that would actually imply that it's harsh, brutish, and unforgiving. Instead, Pininfarina has described the Battista as a Hyper GT, meaning it has the power and mind-blowing performance of a hypercar, whilst still making it remain comfortable enough to use on a road trip. The vehicle has a top speed of 217 miles per hour, and whilst the complete specifications on plugging in aren't accessible, we know the Battista can be rapidly charged at up to 240 kilowatts and charged from 20% to 80% in 25 minutes. To assist with its impressive speed, the Battista has a strong one-pedal regenerative braking, which is very much appreciated compared to the touchy brakes that are usually typical of this caliber of car. The Battista can be utilized for different purposes, thanks to the drive modes. The Calma mode, which uses only 402 horsepower from the front motors, is ideal for getting around town. This performance can be ramped up to Pura, which uses 1,000 horsepower on tap. There is also the Energica mode, then the all-out Furiosa. The Furiosa is a track mode with the same name as a character from the Mad Max films that automatically raises the rear wing and becomes extremely aggressive. But do not be deceived. The Battista is more than just straight-line speed. Its T-shaped battery pack gives it a distinct weight distribution, similar to a normal mid-engine supercar. Yet it feels much lighter than its 4,000-ish pound approximated curb weight. The hypercar also has a fully variable torque vectoring, which can independently control each electric motor, and when combined with a standard Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tire, provides a mega amount of grip. For an electric car, one of the most striking things about the Automobili Pininfarina Battista, beyond its speed, is its idle noise. Instead of a deep, throaty, rumbling exhaust note or the annoying whirring of cooling fans, the hypercar emits a strangely peaceful, pulsating electronic thrum. The sound is known as the suono puro, and it tips you off that the Battista is not powered by some popular exotic Italian V12 engine, but is instead completely electric. Pininfarina's engineers worked hard with the audio brand, Novo Sonic, to change the authentic sounds made by the Battista's powertrain. The sound was made by layering very specific frequencies and making use of individual synthesizers that answer and tune things like the motor speed and the steering input. The magnificent results are heartedly pumped through 12 named speakers attached both inside and outside of the car. Pininfarina mentions that the Battista's base idle frequency is 54 Hz, which sends organic symmetrical light ripples through water and also has a calming effect on human well-being. Though its styling might come off as quite generic at first sight, the Battista is still obviously a Pininfarina design, extraordinarily elegant, a little bit understated, and completely unforgettable. In this supercar, the common smattering of extremely huge intakes and enormous wings which are found in most modern hypercars is absent. Surprisingly, getting into the Battista is quite easy. Its incredibly heavy butterfly doors have huge cutouts in the roof, and the side still is much narrower than usually seen on most mid-engined cars. Getting into the car, you're greeted by a dazzling trio of screens in front. A screen that is about the size of an original iPhone is attached at the top of the steering column and shows important information like the speed, its drive mode, the range, and the battery charge level. At the side of the steering wheel is a pair of bigger touchscreens that run a stunningly attractive infotainment system designed and developed by Pininfarina. The last screen showcases things like performance pages, the drive mode info, and other vehicle settings. The leather seats have cool, intricately designed triangular stitching patterns, with all the aluminum analog switches making use of the same pattern for texture. The automobile even has a tiny volume knob, with the air vents adjusted manually too. The best part? The Battista is genuinely pleasurable to drive. The steering wheel gives a fantastic amount of feedback and is quick without being a little bit twitchy. There is also the absence of that disconnected feeling which is typically associated with EVs. Makes it all the more exciting. It is a really easy car to be obsessed with. However, you can't have it all. The Battista's driving range in Calma is approximately 300 miles between charges, which is standard for an electric car these days. Additionally, the car's tiny trunk behind the cabin leaves a lot to be desired. However, a custom 4-piece set of luggage that matches the car and includes a shoe bag and weekender that is shaped to fit perfectly is available and costs $25,000, and it matches the car perfectly. Also, there was an incident during the car trial when a driver entered the Battista. The adjustments of the seats and mirror, which are controlled automatically through the touchscreens, weren't functioning at all, which required a full restart of the car. The backup camera emergency system wasn't working either, which made it a bit more stressful to maneuver the Battista successfully on a small turnout to enable the photos. And although the material quality of the inside is altogether fantastic, there were quite several squeaks, rattles, and little wiggly trim pieces. This could not exactly have been avoided. After all, it is a hand-built Italian car. With only 150 Battistas being built, the car has a starting price of around $2.2 million each. Every owner can be assured that each one will be unique, as there are over 13.9 quintillion possible exterior spectacular combinations and more than 128 million interior configurations. Each buyer can be fully involved and immersed in the entire design process of their cars, as they would like, working closely and intimately with its chief designer, Dave Amantea. It won't make the same automobile depending on the specifications, and this can increase the price well past $3 million. Well worth it, as the construction of each car takes a group of 10 skilled workers, more than 1,300 man-hours, of which 80 are devoted to painting alone. The exceptions to this are the 5 special editions and Anniversario editions of the Automobile, which have an identical two-tone color scheme that takes 200 hours to paint. 4 of the quintet have already been purchased by customers in the United States, which was definitely expected to be the biggest market of the Battista. Furthermore, the Battista doesn't necessarily face off against other expensive automobiles. Many of its clients, according to the company, are adding it to their sizable collections rather than purchasing it in place of other automobiles. Automobili Pininfarina has delivered the first 2 models of the all-electric Battista Hypercar to North American customers. Both Battistas were customized and designed by their owner in collaboration with Automobili Pininfarina Chief Design Officer Dave Amantea. The Battista's manufacturing run is expected to last for roughly 3 years, after which it will be replaced by a model that is substantially less expensive while maintaining a high level of luxury performance. The next automobile has even begun to draw a larger audience, as it will improve on all the design flaws of the current run. The Battista can truly be said to have brought forth a new car world order. Let us know your thoughts about the Battista and what you love most about it. If you would also like to know more about hot and fast supercars, then consider subscribing to our channel for more awesome videos.